Dear Chase, and specifically Mr. Chenagoa, Executive Office, in an ongoing dispute with Chase that has now spanned almost a year, the customer service received by Chase, including you, has been horrendous. In this time, I've canceled all my Chase credit cards, even though I've been a credit card holder since the late 1990s. When I canceled the cards, the person didn't even want to know why I was canceling them, which shows you just how much Chase cares about retaining customers. On September 2nd, I received a response to my latest inquiry, part of which was detailed in this video. This letter is a response to your letter dated August 26, 2016. First off, why did it take 3 days to actually mail the letter? Your letter is dated August 26, yet only postmarked August 29. That must have been a really long trek to the mailbox, Mr. Chenagoa. Anyway, you clearly want to be very clear about the fact that Chase is unable to provide me with a credit, as you put it in bold type even before you started your letter to me. You then reiterate that Chase likes to record their own calls and likes to lie and threaten their customers when their customers try and record the calls too. However, you have still failed to explain why Chase does not want to be recorded by their customers. Please explain your policy. As you know, I asked you about this in our previous conversation, but you refused to answer since you were being recorded. But again, you failed to answer it in the letter to me. It would be great if you actually responded to the questions I asked. You further claim that I gave you the choice of providing a discount or canceling the order. You then state this is not a valid cancellation. So which did the merchant provide? A discount or a cancellation? Oh, that's right, neither. Ergo, merchant is in the wrong. Ergo, reverse the charge. You have no explanation of why this is declared by you to be, quote, not a valid cancellation. Now, assuming that the order was valid, which it is not, but I'm playing along here, you now claim that the Panasonic charges were validated due to no proof that merchandise was returned, and that you were unable to support a billing error occurred. You state that I made no attempt to return the merchandise. So when I told Chase that I had been promised by Panasonic that they would pick up the merchandise, you just decided that didn't happen? What about in my letter to Ronette Crenshaw at Chase, June 24th, 2016? And when I told Chase I would provide you with the audio recordings, you just neglected that? Well, here is one of the many recordings with Panasonic. This one on April 18, 2016, through their support number of 800-405-0652, indicating not only was I willing to drop it off, but they would pick it up.
Chase would like me to return it to your company, but I'm not going to ship this item across the country. So if in fact there is a location at Aurora, California, which is near Modesto, I believe, I was more than happy to drop it off there. So,
okay, sir, I totally understand. But since it is that you tried to place an order, we would have information in the system. Well, we should have information in the system for you so that we can send you a free label for you to send it back.
Oh, that'd be fantastic.
Then later in that same call,
this is what we're going to have to do for you. I don't think Panasonic is going to want you to go through all of that trouble. So I'm going to send out some information requesting for them to contact you to make arrangements to pick the item up. That's how the...
But then Panasonic turned around after I contacted them again to find out when the pickup was going to happen, as I told you, and they said they would not accept the return. So what was that about me not trying to return the merchandise? As you can hear, I was even told that I shouldn't bring the merchandise back to them. And if you continue to disregard this, I can also provide recordings of Panasonic saying they would not accept my return if I brought it to them. So let's recap. You wanted me to return the merchandise. Fine. They say they'll pick it up. They don't. I say I'll drop it off to them. They say they'll refuse it. What exactly do you want me to do to get the merchandise back to them? Your own reps told me, again, I can provide the audio recordings, that if I took it to Panasonic, they would have to provide me with something saying I returned it, which Panasonic has at this point clearly stated they will not provide. So even if I dumped the item at their location, Panasonic would refuse it. Again, what more could I possibly do to return this merchandise that was erroneously shipped to me and now Chase expects me to pay for? You also state that I have, quote, not provided any supporting documentation to prove a billing error has occurred. Billing error? I am disputing charges with Panasonic. Please explain what billing errors you're talking about. Perhaps you're talking about Chase incorrectly charging me late fees and interest on my disputed charges? That's easy. Just look at the account and see the late fees and interest charged by Chase. Billing error confirmed. You also claim that you sent information to credit bureaus that I disagreed with the charges, and this does not negatively impact my credit report. That may be true, but then why would your customer service then respond to one of my emails with, quote, I updated your account information with Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion credit reporting agencies to reflect that the account ending in 7257 is closed and has no past due history with a current balance of $1,150.03, which implies that you have sent negative information to the credit bureaus. My guess is that you have sent information about that I'm paying the account late. As well, your company's own correspondence with me, dated 4/10/2016 from Elizabeth Berberick, specifically states that you've reversed any reporting to credit agencies. What exactly would you need to reverse if it wasn't negative? Please provide all details of all information sent to the credit bureaus with regard to this specific account since the beginning of 2016. This will obviously include the status of the accounts for each month, as well as the, quote, disagreement about validity, quote, of charges, as well as the corrections mentioned by Michael Coles and Elizabeth Berberick, and the information that was sent that they were correcting, plus any other information that was sent. You then go on to state that your agent in the April 18, 2016 call did not make any binding agreements. Yet you do not provide any details as to how the information provided to the agent was used and the decision-making process, if any, that was applied to continue to deny Chase's responsibility for these charges. Your agent clearly said that if the merchant had not provided me with a copy of the return policy, this could be, quote, used. Okay, used for what then? Why haven't you addressed that? What was it going to be used for? Why wasn't it used? Can we still use it? Has it all been used up? Here again is the transcript from that call with Jeff Cohen on April 18, 2016, as quoted in my letter to Ronette Crenshaw on June 24, 2016.
But at the time of purchase, were you given any type of return policy?
No.
Okay. So we can actually use that, stating they never provided you with anything like that, any type of return policy, so you were not made aware of that return policy. Okay, so...
Well, why would I need...
We're not made aware?
Okay.
Yes, you were not made aware. And at that time, we would not have to abide by that because you were not made aware.
So again, let's highlight a few things here. You'll note that Jeff Cohen says, so we can actually use that. He also says, we would not have to abide by that. Again, you have provided no explanation of why you are not using that and why you have chosen to abide by something that your representative said you would not have to abide by. You then go on to provide a sketchy defense of your representative for not providing me with information on the cardholder agreement. If you had actually listened to the phone conversation from April 18, 2016, you would have heard...
Let me clarify. My apologies. I am not asking for your advice. I would like you to pull up my customer agreement with Chase, and please just read to me the section on if there is a dispute between myself and Chase, what process I need to take or Chase needs to take to resolve it.
Okay, sir. So with that, you are speaking about taking legal action.
No, I'm not, sir.
I'm not
I'm asking you to simply read from the customer agreement. Pretty darn easy.
Okay. Again, I'm not able to advise on that.
Which clearly states this is not for legal reasons and simply asks him to read from the agreement. Why exactly couldn't your representative read from the agreement? You also claim that the representative could not escalate the call further because I had reached the highest level of escalation in that line of business. That's odd, since I clearly remember.
Who would I be able to speak to that is at a position above you?
You would not be able to speak with anybody about me. I can speak to you in regards to these matters, sir.
Okay, you just said you weren't able to speak to me with regards to these matters. So there is absolutely no one at the company higher than you that I will be able to speak to.
That's correct.
It seems to me that Jeff Cohen was pretty clear that there was no one at Chase higher than him I would be able to talk to, which you have conveniently twisted into the highest level of escalation for that line of business. Where exactly did he say that? Did I ask to speak to someone higher than him in, quote, his line of business? No, I did not. I asked for anyone in Chase that was higher. And here we are. You are in a higher position and discussing, quote, that line of business. Again, why did he not escalate it to the executive office when I asked for someone higher? I also find it very interesting that you invite me to call you on the phone if I have any questions. After you started your letter with, quote, you will respond to my inquiries in writing. Does this mean that I simply call and tell you my questions? No discussion whatsoever? And then you write me with your responses? I find your lack of file review skills and your lack of sincerity shocking for someone working in the executive office of Chase, and would appreciate someone with better skills than you possess to take over this file and immediately remove the disputed charges, fees, and interest from my closed account. Thank you.